was Brian Lilly who said that the social media is not just a spoke on the wheels of marketing. It has become the way the entire marketing bicycle is being built, parts by parts. Hello, welcome to Clockwise, produced by Neticent ICT. Now, don't forget that on this Sanctuary of Greatness, we discuss technology, lifestyle, trends. And today we'll be having a very interesting conversation. We'll be discussing social media influencing. My name is Providence Essien and I'm your host. Now, I have a guest, someone you want to meet. My guest is not just a social media influencer, an entrepreneur, a business person, a podcaster, a politician. Yes, because she works with my governor as special assistant. Please, without further ado, with a resounding virtual round of applause, please welcome the amazing Nievet Francis.
All that hype is for me. Don't let my destiny helpers abandon me. They'll say, this girl has made it.
You know that you're one of those that has really topped my list of the people I'm going to interview this year.
Okay.
That is why I said I'm going to interview no matter what. Despite the disappointment.
Yeah, I really apologize for.
Yeah. I actually envision things and I make them come true.
Yeah.
All right. And there's another question I want to ask you. How do you actually play those roles? Is it because you're an actress?
The roles, which of the roles? The ones in movie?
Being a politician, being a podcaster, an entrepreneur, being this, being that. And also an actress.
You know, there are people that are ultra talented. So I fall into that category. And also, the things I do are interrelated. They're not really separate entities. They're just a piece in the same work. So I'm a media person.
Yeah.
I influencing is media job, right?
Yeah.
And if I have influence, I can be a politician.
Yeah, it's true.
And then I need money for politics. So I do business.
Okay. I get it now. Now, there's one question I want to ask you, and let me ask you now. Who really committed this higher crime?
All of us. If you actually want to discuss higher crime, I think we all are guilty of one crime or the other. But most of us are guilty of the higher crime because of the culture of silence. When someone commits a crime, you know about it and you do nothing. You commit the higher crime.
Wow.
Yes.
So
because your silence is going to rob the victim of justice. Your silence is going to embolden the abuser or the criminal to do even worse because he didn't pay for the first. So you are committing a crime to society, the victim, and you're even helping the criminal and the abuser to further on his mischief.
It sounds very connecting now, but here's the thing: who really committed it?
That's all. As long as you keep quiet in the face of danger, oppression, crime, you are guilty of the higher crime.
All right, now we are actually discussing social media influencing, and I know you're an influencer, so I'd like to get your perspective first before we continue. Who is a social media influencer to you?
Oops. I mean, these days, everybody's an influencer. As long as you have social media handles. Yes. So, an influencer is basically someone who has influence in a particular circle. Now, so the word influencing, right? You might have a large following on social media, but you're not an influencer.
Okay.
You can be popular, but you're not respected. You can be popular, but you don't have impact.
Yeah.
So an influencer is one who can say, tomorrow we are drinking sachet water.
And everybody drink.
And a majority of the people that read that post drink social and pure water, sachet water. Okay. So influencing has to do with your ability to drive a narrative and successfully get people to accept and see things from your perspective. So you have a perspective about something and you get people who ordinarily would not have seen things from that perspective to see it because you have said it.
No.
That's who an influencer is.
Okay, now if you actually define what social media influencer and being an influencer is to you. Now, you necessarily need to have a large following to be able to influence people.
Well, a large following to a large extent gives you more conversion rate. What I'm saying is that if I am an influencer and I have 1 million people following me, it means that if I tell them, let's go and see higher crime, for instance, I'm going to have about, let's say, worst case scenario, 500,000 people go out to see higher crime.
Yeah.
But if I had 50,000 followers, it means the people that are connected to me are less. So less number of people will see what I am talking about.
Okay.
So that's why numbers help.
Okay.
Numbers give you an advantage as an influencer.
What tips will you give to anyone, let's say a business person, an entrepreneur, anybody that wants to have visibility on social media? What tips will you give to the person?
Visibility, you can get it anyhow. You can be a very dark man. You can be a risky. You can be, you know what I mean. So you can get visibility. You can decide anything. But what really counts is, are you respected?
Okay.
You are visible. You are known. Do you have value before people? Who are the people listening to you? Who are your audience?
Yeah.
So, to be visible, they can see you. But does what you say count? Does it matter? Do people actually pay attention to what you're saying? So being visible is one aspect of it as a business person. Then having goodwill, having the right audience is another thing.
Now, there are a number of times you've actually caused commotion on social media. Like a number of times. You have this way of actually instigating conversation.
Why am I laughing? Because I hear that all the time.
You have a way of actually instigating.
Like I set agenda.
Yeah, you just do it subtly. Like, it's not just, I don't know if it's intentional, but you will just come up and you create conversation and most people will just be laughing. Because how do you actually create those contents that resonate with your audience? Okay,
so first and foremost, I talk about issues that give me sleepless nights. If it's not important, I'm not going to address it. So when
do you see the platform as a way to relieve what is on your mind?
Not a way to relieve what is on my mind. I see social media as a platform to drive a social crusade. I see social media as a platform to effect change.
Okay.
So when issues are paramount, when issues are worth discussing, and there are issues that people can relate to, that's why when I talk about it, everybody starts talking about it because it's there. It's just that people are afraid to talk about it. And I am the person that has the guts, the audacity to say it the way it is. And so when finally, it's like someone just broke the ice. Finally, someone has come out. So yeah, it's time. Everybody, let's start talking about this. So that's what happens. I think I just feel that I own my voice. I should think for myself. And then that's why most of the time I come up with opinions that are not popular. But that's my truth. That's how I see it. And then the funniest part is that there are thousands of other people who saw it from that angle. They were too scared to talk about it. So when I bring it up, like, finally, now let's talk about this is the time, this is the golden opportunity to address this. So I talk about things that are relatable. That's why it resonates.
No, all what you're just saying, there's something, this is your last post actually. I don't know why it's playing on my mind.
Which one?
Okay. All right. Your sister Prudence actually came online.
Oh, yeah.
Now, why I'm using the word sisters and brothers is because you are from the same state.
Yes.
And she said something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was trying to look for that video to actually see the complete conversation, actually what led to that. And your brother.
My friend, actually. Very friend.
And brother actually responded, gave his own opinion. And you came so hard. Why?
I came so hard because it's wrong. It is wrong for you to do that.
But if you say social media is a way of actually ventilating what's on your mind, don't you see it also as a way of him also ventilate what is in his mind.
So let's talk about what you're ventilating. Now, we need to understand. Somebody used to say, is it fair? Is it true? So before you start to ventilate what's on your mind, you have to ask yourself, what I'm saying, is it going to cause damage to someone?
Okay.
So if you read my post,
I
made references to other things that this is like a pattern, this is like a behavior that is unhealthy. You cannot, in someone's moment of glory, someone has put in so much effort to do good.
Yeah.
I mean, to do good. And there are 1,001 positives from these initiatives, from these actions. And the only thing you can see to talk about is to run down that all that effort.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft practice.
I've seen definitely of witchcraft today.
Yes, it's wrong. Because you could, okay, let me say something with you. If you know the popular T-Pain, said he slipped into depression because of what Usher said about his music. So there are things you could just say because you want to be heard or whatever, you want to be seen, and then you cause a damage to someone, and that thing, the thing negatively impacts the person. And maybe, okay, for instance, let me take it through this route. We have been complaining that our people that succeed in Lagos do not come home to help us build.
Yeah.
There's that narrative. We have had issues of people seeing their brothers and sisters out of in places like Lagos, Abuja, and they refused to relate with them as their brothers and sisters.
That's true.
And then somebody who you did not contribute a dime to her success story was not trained with a common statement. Did her own thing, struggled, and said, okay, I'm coming to my place to empower people. And a master class she hosted in Port Harcourt for 500,000 naira. She did it for 20,000 in her state. With the promise to empower people with machines, money, and all of that. And brings the likes of this is very popular designer like Medlin Boss, Vicky James, to empower young people. And all of that, the only thing you could, your first post for that event was a negative review. That's not right. Because what are you going to do? You might end up discouraging the person from coming back. So you really don't understand the struggles she had before she took that decision. So I told you not to do that. So now your action can now shut the door against people who could have benefited from more of such events.
Yeah.
It wasn't healthy for us as a people. And someone had to call into order.
No problem. I feel that you have the potential to say he's a part of the story.
Yes, but it's not what. But if you saw the reaction to the post, you saw that I was not the only one that felt.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What's the origin of the name Amazing Nigeria?
Who say amazing? Do you know that? Okay, so I actually was a very loud person.
Well, you just told me you were a shy person.
Wait, I'm going to talk about this. Is the part people don't understand about me. So I'm a shy person naturally by default. And then I created an alter ego that became too strong, that almost became my brand and personality.
Okay.
So the alter ego was just a loud person.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. You know, Beyonce is a very shy person.
Okay.
Take Beyonce out of the stage, interview her. She's this very soft girl. So the Shasha Pierce thing was her alter ego, so she can be that person on stage. So I created an alter ego for myself, and that took me on a path that wasn't really healthy to my brand. So I remember when I used to wear, I loved crazy clothes. I loved skimpy clothes. I can't cover myself. It's not done. Is that I'm going to tear the cloth, or they are going to open the back, or the cleavage will show. Something has to be off. Yes. So this one is a long story. I had the likes of Mr. Nemero, who was really helping me. They said, you can't be like this. You're too intelligent to be like this. You need to pick a brand for yourself. Because when I'm dressed like this, I'm going to someone's office the next day, decently dressed, to pitch an idea for something.
Was that influenced by you being an actress?
No, it wasn't. That was a long story. I think I was a person of interest from when I was a young person. Like people just liked knowing what is happening around me. People like talking about me. So out of anger, I said, okay, since you're interested in my life, I must give you guys something to talk about. Every time I step out. That's why I said I created an alter ego.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that I cannot understand why I'm just going out like a normal person. And then you will now pick on me and add pepper and salt. A lot. This is like a full story, right? So for those things not to affect me so badly, I had to be intentional about making you talk about me.
Okay.
Do you understand? So that if I hear anything like, yes,
you did it.
I did it. Do you understand? Exactly.
Yeah.
So Mr. Neville said, anyway, you're too intelligent to be this person. So choose a brand. You can't be a crazy girl on Monday, and then on Tuesday you are this girl that is very corporate. You walk into my office and give me a beautiful idea that I should want. It doesn't work. So I now got to know about branding, about your brand, how it outlives you, how it precedes you. So to help me change, I now ask myself, who do you want people to know you as?
Yes, yeah.
But when you know that, you now tailor your actions, your dressing, everything to represent that idea of you. So amazing came to mind. That I just want to do amazing things. Like, oh, it's amazing. So when I want to leave my house and I'm dressed in a kind of way, I ask myself,
does it look amazing?
So that's how the name came.
No, I get that. All right, no problem. When we come back from this little break, we are going to continue the conversation.
All right.
Have you ever been in a situation where you have to deal with a negative online dragging?
I think
Or
at
the
this
cancel
point,
culture?
I am a customer to online dragging.
So how do you manage your mental health during that period?
But the thing is, it would be very difficult to cancel me on social media. I think even in real life, because people think I'm controversial. I always say that I'm not controversial. I just have a mind of my own.
Okay.
I think for myself. And then I say what I want to say without filter.
That makes you controversial?
No, that doesn't make me controversial. People target controversial. Okay. That makes me real.
Okay.
So I say this every time. I don't want to be liked. I want to be real. Do you understand? So I don't want to say yes to something that I don't believe in, doesn't sit well with me, because I want to be accepted. I want to get validation from people. I'm not that person. So even if the whole world is saying this light is green, and after taking my time to look at this light, I'm seeing blue. It's blue.
And you're going to say
and I'm going to say this light is blue. I don't know why you guys are seeing green. Do you understand? And then for social media negativity, I mean, I think at this point I'm a customer. Everybody.
You're irregular.
Yes, because I'm so opinionated. I say things the way they are, and once you do that, people want to use you to trend. But the thing is, every time people drag me on social media, I kid you not, it brings me goodies.
Okay.
I make new friends. I make new tests. I meet.
What
new
means that
test
you're
members.
unhappy? They don't drag you.
Do you know? Was it when I said, "What's going on? They have not dragged me anywhere." Is it that? What is going on? I mean, so, but I don't intentionally put myself out there to be dragged.
Okay.
Because that would make me a nuisance.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
so what happens is when I say something, like there was a time I said that in every serious relationship, there are other serious relationships, right?
That one fits me. I nearly wanted to drag you.
So, and I said that every guy out there has like, not every guy, most guys out there have like 3 girlfriends, 3 serious relationships, and their friends are aware of it. I mean, their family know about it. But then the family knows that they have this relationship, but they are allowed to check, test, and pick from the 4 or 3. But all women now, you begin to act taken when you're not yet married, and someone could just say, "Hello, like, I have a boyfriend." So I said, don't do that to yourself. I wrote there with emphasis, I'm not saying sleep around. I'm saying be open to friendship. If a guy tells you, "How are you?" you answer, "I'm fine." Do you get what I'm saying? So don't let your boyfriend make you miss your husband. And it was 5 days. All the blogs. You have started
with the don't sleep around.
I know. I wrote though. They just chose not to say don't sleep around. I took a paragraph and wrote there with emphasis. I'm not asking you to jump from bed to bed. I wrote it. It was there. But they refused to see it. They intentionally refused to see it. And then they attempted to drag me. But you know that the caliber of people that called me and said, "Annabeth, you are a national treasure. They should protect you." Professors, a professor wrote a piece in support of what I said. Pastors, married people.
What you said was actually
so what I'm saying that, so when the people, the people that are on social media just to reflect, to project their anger, their sadness on you, they just don't want to see you happy. Those people are there. Those ones that, whether you're saying the truth or not, their own is just to abuse you. People like that don't really count. For me, as I said earlier, who is listening to you? So when you start dragging me on social media, you share my post, you call me names, people are definitely going to come to my page. And when they do, they'll see a girl that is nothing close to what you described.
Yeah.
They'll come and see the good works I've been doing, supporting people, empowering people, addressing issues, everything. They come to love me. You see things like, "Oh, I met you through this post. I came to your page from this post that they were dragging you." There was a time I made a post, I want to make a film for Netflix. Some other guy took the post and started abusing me. He was trying to make jest of me. And someone came from that post and said, "I just saw your post on this person's timeline. I want to support you." And they sent me money. So every time people try to drag me, and I keep saying it does nothing to me. It doesn't give me a headache. I don't lose my sleep. Because it's just like, this is why they're making noise. I've said what I've said.
Okay.
This is me. I wasn't asked to say it. I say it with my chest. And with there are days I have time, I'll stay on that issue for 5 days until you're tired talking about it.
Now, in all of this, has there been a time where you've considered stepping out of social media?
The only time I stepped out of social media was not because of dragging, but because I was depressed. Now, what made me depressed? I took a loan. I took a loan to make a film. It was a loan that I was paying 20% monthly interest.
Wow.
Yes. So it really got to me. I was suicidal. So that period, I had my hair cut and left social media.
Okay, you left social media. Who would not observe it?
I left. People observed it. They started asking me, like, "What's the name of it?" I just left. So that was the only time I thought of doing social media. Apart from that, do you know what social media does for me? Almost all the big friends I have, there are customers that copy my post and they come all the way from Abuja. They're like, "I am in your town. I want to come to your place." Or, "I am sending my people to your place to eat." So why would I leave social media because of people? It's not done. I'm not that girl.
Now, what is your approach? I want to understand your approach in balancing your social media life and also your real life. How do you balance them?
The person you see on social media is the person you see in real life. Yes, I don't know how to fake anything.
Okay.
I just sometimes my mother would say, I just wish you could be pretending sometimes. I'm too real. For instance, I don't know how to use filter on photos. When I post pictures, they'll tell me, oh, you should have touched this at my photos, or even my food photos for my business. So there are days I come on social media and I post my birthdays. Not most times I post pictures of me without makeup. So that's me. I don't know how to be what I'm not. This is me. I am like this.
So whatever you are on social media, that's what you are.
Yes. The only thing that in my private room, I'm very funny. Like my friends will laugh a lot. But this is who I am.
So no imitation.
No imitation. This is me.
I'd like us to continue this particular episode again. And promise me that when I invite you, you're
I
coming
will
straight.
come. So as you keep this, just at this time, let me do like Frank Edogo. No drink. You don't give me drink. You don't give me food. So the next time, people should tell you to bring food because everybody knows I love food and it has to be after.
All right, we're going to eat on this particular show live. And you're eating amazing pots.
As far as it's a it's a deal.
All right, let's hear your final notes before we go.
Okay, I actually love what you're doing with the Clockwise podcast. So the first time I saw a podcast, I'm like, who is this person? I wanted to be the first person to start a podcast in this town. And I loved your studio. Like, I came and then I don't know why orange is one of the colors that I love so much. My studio has orange color. I love this. I love the fact that you bring very credible people as your guests. I've seen Nick in the Finbar, I've seen Esther, Queen Esther. And I love what you're doing.
All right.
And for people out there who are aspiring to be influencers, especially on social media, I need you to understand that there's a difference between being a nuisance and being an influencer.
Okay.
If you have to say something, be sure that there's something to be said. And whatever you're saying is going to address issues and not drag people. They're two different things. So it's good to have influence. The world today needs people of influence because we need to start making our society better. So of course your voice out there can be of help, but then don't be a nuisance.
Thank you.
And it's one thing to be popular and it's another thing to be valued.
Thank you very much. That is a very strong one. You can be popular and you have value. Thank you very much for coming. On that note, we'll come to the end of today's episode of Clockwise. And please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and put on the notification bell on this channel because it encourages us to bring amazing content. And also, do not forget that the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who do not go to school or those who will not go to school, but are those who have refused to evolve as the environment is evolving. My name is Providence Essien. See you again.